The ninth plague, mentioned in this week's Parshas, darkness, choshech, had a devastating effect upon the Egyptians, perhaps even more than the 8 plagues that preceded it. And the question is why. Chazal explained to us that the first 3 days of the Makkah of choshech, of darkness, there was just darkness. But then it got more intense. For the last 3 days, all of a sudden the Egyptians were frozen. They couldn't move, there was a thickness. They couldn't speak to each other, they couldn't be with each other. That was more devastating. Our question is, really? Seems a bit far-fetched that darkness was more devastating than all of the plagues that had preceded it. The answer is as follows. Reb Shabtai Yudelevit Zatzal the Maggid used to travel from place to place to far-flung communities, inspiring them in Yerushalayim. One specific time, he's in a community in the middle of nowhere. They don't know much about Yiddishkeit, and he's getting up and he's talking about the Rabbeinu Shalom and Emunah and Shabbos Kodesh and the difference between Gan Eden and Gehenna and how everyone has to strive to Gan Eden. And one gentleman gets up and he says, "Rabbi, with all due respect, I want to be in Gehenna." The Maggid said, "What?" He said, yeah, I want to be in Gehenna." And the Maggid asked him, "And why would you want that?" He said, "Rabbi, I'll be very honest with you. I'm a simple Jew. Who's in Gan Eden? Tzadikim, Talmidei Chachomim, people that were busy with the Rabbeinu Shalom all their lives." He said, "I'm a simple Jew. What do I know about Hashem? What do I know about mitzvahs? All my friends are going to be in Gehenna. I want to be in there with them." And the Maggid said, "You're making a tremendous mistake. Because Gan Eden is a place where people are enjoying and benefiting from the Shekhinah, together with everything they did in this world. And Gehenna is a place of choshech, of darkness. Like the Torah says in this week's parasha, Lo yiro ish es achiv. No one saw their friend. You won't be able to converse with anyone. You won't be able to socialize with anyone. You'll be by yourself." Perhaps this is the answer why the Makkah in this week's parasha, Makkah's choshech, of darkness, was so terrifying to the Egyptians. Because the previous 8 Makkahs, they were able to relate to their friends, talk to their friends, speak to their friends. But all of a sudden now, they were frozen. They were alone. What a message this is. When we see somebody else that's perhaps alone, that needs someone to talk to, we could change his whole experience in life. And that is what this week's parasha is teaching us. When a person is alone, he's suffering by himself. It's so much worse than any other suffering. We can alleviate the suffering and pain of so many people by just looking out there and seeing who needs a smile, who needs a few words of comfort, of chizuk, and perhaps a hug. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
To listen to more by Rabbi Avi Wiesenfeld, visit